What's going on, guys? Ethan Usher here, and welcome back to the Islands Server Tour Part 2. So last time we looked at our starting base and the sort of main islands that constitute our farms and stuff, and now we're going to start checking out our individual bases. In this part, we're going to check out the tower. And next, in the next video, we'll check out the Blue Shadows Epic Medieval Kingdom base. So, without further ado, let's head over to this area and check it out. So I'll first give you like an overview of this, and I'll show you some different views with shaders on so you can get an idea as well of what it looks like. But basically the idea behind this base is it's a huge tower that is sticking out of an iceberg, and there's a ton of icebergs also around it. A lot of these were natural, but I did build some of my own icebergs as well, and I just think it looks pretty dope. It's like a kind of wintry, cold sort of environment. This huge iceberg here I actually built manually. It's I think it needed a little bit of a huge iceberg at the back here, so I just made this all out. It is hollow as well, so we can check out what it looks like from underneath. Look at that, pretty cool. Yeah, there's a drowned. Yeah, so also this iceberg that the tower is built on extends all the way down to the floor of the ocean, and I built all of this manually as well. This is a custom iceberg. And you can see like the iceberg kind of like reaches up around the tower. Very cold, very desolate. Alright, so we're going to check out the first floor here. This is the main entrance. I have these blocks to block off the beacons for now. That's a temporary thing. But this is the entryway. Sort of a simple room here with a big window. We got the desk. It says welcome to the tower. Very simple. Got a chair. Lectern with some notes on it, a lamp, you know, simple stuff. There should have been a cat. Oh, he never stays where he should. He's supposed to be sitting on the desk keeping watch for all those creepers. Do you want to get up or not? Do you want to? No, okay, I'll just leave him on that bush there. So this is the foyer, and before we go on, I will just explain how this base is set up. So there are two phases to the base. There is two stages, if you will. So there's the first phase, which is the bottom half, and there's the huge disc in the middle, and then there's the second phase on top. So we're going to check out the first phase to begin with. Pretty simple. And we'll check out the disc last. But here's the elevator, and it says what phase you're on and what level. So this is the lobby. We're going to go up to the storage area. Zoop! It's this second floor here. This is the main storage of the base, and where I spend the most of my time. We've got a smelting system, and this is hooked up to a bamboo farm, which I will show you in just a second. So this chest is kept full of bamboo. And if you take some out, it'll automatically refill from the farm below the base. There's some shulker boxes over there, just chests and stuff, armor stands, pretty simple stuff. But speaking of that bamboo farm, I'll show you the basement. So we're going to go actually back down to the lobby, and I'll keep going down, and here is underneath. So this is inside the iceberg that the base is built on. We have this huge sort of endstone and purple design here at the bottom, and this is the bamboo farm. It uses 6 different dispensers to bone meal this bamboo, and it gets shoved over and it travels up. I can just activate it here for a second and show you what it looks like when it's activational. It's operational. There you go, look at that. Pretty sick. The pistons go back and forth and destroy the bamboo. And it's pretty simple. This is the conduit I have set up. This is temporary. I think I should move this to one of the corners out of the way, but it's there for now. If we go down here, this is the triple, or it's actually a 5 beacon, 5 in 1, made out of completely emerald blocks. because this is a very rich base. This is based on economics and making money, basically. And I'll show you how that happens up above. But this leads to what will be a strip mine eventually underneath, and maybe expansions further on. But we got some airlocks here to keep out the water. This entire basement area is underwater, as you can probably tell. But yeah, that's the basement area. Let's keep going up though, because I know you're curious to see what is next. We have this storage area we already saw. So now this is the next area. This is the economic center. This is the core of the base. This is where all the stuff happens. So this floor here, this glass, is actually the containment for an iron farm. It is temporarily disabled right now. You can see those 4 blocks would be a lava source, and there would be iron golems dying. But I took it out temporarily so we could have the beacons come all the way through the middle of the base. There is glass all the way up, so you can kind of see all the way up to the top there. Kind of cool look. But this is the village area. I have 3 different kind of sectors, districts, if you will. There's the farming district, the librarian or the university district, and sort of the random fishing, cartography district. You know, this is sort of a mix and match one. But yeah, basically, these villages are all to create emeralds from the farms that exist in this room. So this room is actually a 4 farm in 1. So if I just go into spectator for a second. So we have the iron farm, which I already showed you. If we go up a little bit more, you can see in the walls here, there is melon and pumpkins that are automatically being harvested by observers and pistons. And there's a minecart running among or below all of it. So you can see it's going along there, picking up the melons and stuff. And all those melons and pumpkins go down this hopper line to these chests. And I can take the melons and pumpkins from these chests and trade them off to make some sick emeralds. So that's kind of +2. That's a melon and pumpkin in 1. And then if we go up to the next floor, we have the sugarcane farm. So this, it actually starts below the floor here. So there's 4 levels to it. So you can see 1 just got harvested there. They automatically get harvested if any of them get to level 3. But there's 4 levels to it, and it has a very cool design. It's fed by 1 minecart down to this chest. So this chest, oh, it's full. Oh yeah, the farm is a bit backed up right now. I'm just gonna take all this out so we don't have a problem. So yeah, so this minecart, if we follow it here, it goes around this corner and up, and it goes up all the way and back and forth and around all the way to the top at the back here. And then it goes all the way down, down to this chest. So the chest is right on the other side of this block here. So here it is. And then it goes back and it goes all the way down, and it ends right here in this corner. So then it goes around and then up and then around and then up. So I wanted to challenge myself and come up with a design that could be minimize lag basically and have 1 minecart running for the whole thing, and it works pretty well. So yeah, this sugarcane can be traded off as paper to the librarians. I also have a ton of really good librarians here that I have gotten mending from and stuff, so these are pretty cool. A lot of trading goes on here. This is where the bulk of the money is generated on the server. And the emeralds mostly just stored here. There's a bunch stored in this chest, and there's also obviously the beacon down in the basement. And there's a few more lying around. I've also spent a lot on items that the Blue Shadow has set up in his shops, which is something we'll check out in the next episode. Yeah, so let's just keep going up here. The next floor is the sugarcane farm, which we've already looked at. Pretty cool. We'll keep going here. The next floor is the Cloud District. So this is my own shop. I mentioned Blue Shadow has shops, but I have a shop that sells all the different items that I can farm. We have melons and pumpkins. We have these prismarine blocks, which I farm from my Guardian farm, which I won't show you today, but it's very small and kind of, you know, not very useful, but it's good to get some of the prismarine blocks, especially sea lanterns, and I can sell them to get more money out of them. We've got some cooked cod here for free. The reason this is called the Cloud District as well is because it is exactly at cloud level. And I didn't mention this before, but the whole base is reaching all the way to sky limit. So it goes from sea level all the way to the very, very top of the world. And this floor just happens to be right at cloud level, so it's why I called it the Cloud District. Here we're selling enchanted books. I'm breaking 3, mending, and silk touch are the main ones. We have some miscellaneous blocks over here, some red nether brick, which I farm from my netherwart farm. We got dried kelp, we got some food, golden carrots, mushroom blocks, iron, and sugarcane. So that's cool. That is the end for phase 1 of the base. So the phase 1 is mostly focused on farms and technical stuff and, like, you know, the money making scheme, you know. Those villagers are working their butts off to make us the moolah. But what is behind the whole operation? What runs it when I'm not at the base, when I'm doing other stuff? There has to be some method of maintaining that economy, right? So that's where phase 2 comes in. So we're going to check out phase 2 now. This is phase 2 of the base, and it's a much more decorative build, as you'll be able to tell. But this is the main control room of the AI that controls the entire tower. So it's running in the background. It's sort of doing all those quick calculations, how much money we've made, how much we need to increase our profits by, and all that stuff. And this whole room is supposed to be designed like a computer, like a CPU or a motherboard. Yeah, so we have these cool cables that are lit up here. These things on the sides, which I don't know what they are supposed to be exactly. I just thought they look cool. We got some wiring and stuff behind the glass. We're gonna check out next the CPU room. This whole room is one continuous cylinder, as you can see, and at the top we have this aperture which opens to the next part of the base, which I will discuss in just a second. So here's the CPU that controls the entire thing. There's all the calculations. This is nothing much known about this. It's kind of a mysterious entity, but it's plugged into all these cables here and held in place. We got some memory here, some RAM. I'll just go into spectator to give you a little bit more of a better view. So we got some sticks of RAM there. Over here we got some more, you know, CPU stuff, capacitors, and more wiring and stuff. I just think it's a cool aesthetic. The dark prismarine to me kind of looked like a circuit board, so that's kind of where I got this idea from. So yeah, looks pretty cool in my opinion. Let's keep going to the third part of this room, which is networking. This one is just more cables and stuff. It's much more open. We got some windows here to the outside, and these invisible kind of translucent cables are supposed to be the fiber optics that are used for the networking. And we got these cable bundles here that are the terminal locations for the 3 different types of cables that we have running throughout the room, which is pretty dope. So next, you're gonna have to put on your radioactive suits. We got the reactor core up there, man, and there's a danger warning. It's not good. Something's gone wrong with it. So let's go check it out. Hold your breath. Just kidding. It should be perfectly safe. So this is the reactor floor, and you can see this is the containment glass that's trying to protect the reactor core there, which is suspended inside. But you can see there's some sort of a rift in it. There's a hole, or a scar going through it, if you will, and it's emitting a lot of heat. And you can see the reactor glass is getting heated up, and it might just melt or give away at any moment. We're not really sure, but this aperture has been opened to let out excess heat, which is very bad. But it's a cool looking aesthetic nonetheless. But it is definitely a dangerous area to be in. So let's get back in here, back in survival. So these, under normal circumstances, these are the control rods that are controlling the reactor. And they are all, there's 4 different ones, and they're all hooked up via these cables. I'll just go around and show you here. And you can see this is the second one. These all are serve different purposes in regulating the reactor. And this is the last one. You can see the last one has a little bit of a hole in the bottom. And that is because this is not the final room of the base. There is more to see. But to access it, there's a secret way to go. So we can actually get up through here. You can see there's a ladder, but how do we get up? How do we grab this ladder? Well, we don't want to be placing blocks in here. That's dangerous. But there's actually a button you can press that gets us up. Look at that. Pretty sweet. So we can climb up here, the secret entrance, and here we are. And there's another ladder in a second we can go to. But this is the reactor viewing room. I like how this room looks a lot, and that dome right there is the very, very top of the base. We could look down and see the reactor in all its glory, and it is on fire right now. So that is bad, but you know, it's not the worst thing. It hasn't exploded yet or anything. It is superheating some parts of the reactor glass and everything, but you know, it's under control. Don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. Just enjoy the view, you know. All right, so this is the observatory. Nothing really going on here. It's just an aesthetic room again. But we have another ladder here that we can go to access the very, very top of the base. So this is one of the huge arms that extends out of the top of the base. And we're gonna climb all the way up and out. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and sleep so we can get a good view. This is the very, very top of the base, the roof. We are out on top, and I'm just going to fly around for a bit so you can see. This is so high up off the ground that is not a very good view, actually. Like, nothing is really loaded at normal view distances. You can see the mob farm is the only other, like, really tall structure. You can see the disc there, which we will get to in a bit more detail in a minute. But yeah, this is the top of the base. And these arms and this dome, I think, extend exactly to build height. So you can't build on this. It is... oh, you can. Actually, never mind. I think the dome isn't, but those arms, I think, extend almost all the way up. Pretty crazy. You can see if I go up here and look at our F3 menu, 255 is where we're at. And 256 is the max. So yeah, one more block and we would be pushing it. So yeah, that is the entire phase 2, including the reactor and the CPU. So that's pretty cool. But we have one more thing to check out with the base, and that is the disk. So I kind of skipped over it at the beginning, but we'll fly back down here so I can show you what's going on. And in the disk is what I call the solarium. So let's check this out. It's a huge dome over top, and encased within it is this lush plant life. A complete juxtaposition to what's outside. We got the icebergs, the cold, wintry environment. But inside is this crazy, nice oasis. So we got a lot of different sections here. This is a very detailed build. I put a lot of effort into the little details here. We got a little park bench here with a tree you can look at. Just beautiful. Beautiful custom tree here. We've got a fountain, which there are usually fish inside, but there are no fish right now. We got a little fountain there, though. Let's just wander around here. We got a little arch looking into here. Oh, beautiful. Over there, you got some lanterns hanging off. Some more custom trees. The bamboo looks really cool here. All of this is customly grown and custom height bamboo. Over to the right here, we have a little bit of a coral section, a little bit of a warm spring, and some sea pickles and everything growing. Pretty cool. Moving on to the next section, we have a little bit of a barren section. Got a hay bale. We got a little creek running through here, some more coral creek, and a bridge running over it. And across the bridge, we have a rock garden. Look at this. This is sick. I love this rock garden. It looks so cool. It's so random, but it's somehow perfect. Oh, so aesthetic. There we go. So onto this arch, we go on to a little bit of more of a taiga. We got some ferns, some taller kind of spruce-like trees. And here is something a little bit different. So you can see there is a hole in the dome in this area. And you can see it used to be sort of a lush coral area with some nice trees, but they have turned to ice. And the coral has died, unfortunately. You've got the river turned to ice here. A little bit of a waterfall that has also frozen over. And the snow is beginning to spread to the other areas of the tree. So I thought this is a really cool detail. A little bit of world building here. But another cool little detail about this area is if we go inside the coral, we have a snow golem here that we can use to get snow from. So this is where I come to get my snow if I ever need it. So that's pretty cool. We got some like icicles hanging everywhere. Lots of little details. You can see this tree is half taken over by the ice. So the idea is the ice, the dome is not repaired, and the cold is going to spread and destroy this entire thing eventually. Here we have the last section, which is kind of a interesting we've got some thin trees with single leaves on top. I thought it was a cool aesthetic. Lots of mixes of vegetation, all that stuff. And then we have a little swampy area, lily pads. Yeah. And then we come through here and go through this crazy thing, and we're back to the beginning. So that is the solarium. I got the idea of the solarium from Watchmen, where the villain Ozymandias has a dome in the Arctic, and it's filled with all these crazy plant life from all around the globe and all these rare animals and plants. And then this is a bit of a spoiler for Watchmen, just in case you care, but at the end of the comic, he opens up the dome and all of it's destroyed. And I thought, why not have a similar thing here where the dome is being opened up and everything is going to be consumed by the icy cold? Yeah, so that is the tower. That is like over 200 hours of my life spent building this. Over 40,000 smooth stone went into this. An absolute monstrosity of a build. It was a serious project to build this, but it is crazy cool now that it's done. And I hope you guys also enjoyed taking a look through it. Most of my effort on this server has gone towards one building, which, you know, take what you will. I mean, it might not be the best use of time or the most impressive, but man, I love this thing. It's cool. That's about all I have to show for it, though. Oh yeah, I should mention that this pipe system feeds into my base as well. I'll just show you guys that real quick. So the netherwort farm is where I get my netherwort, obviously. And we can swim through all these tunnels and get to my base. It connects up into the bottom here. Like this. Cool. Wow. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Comment about your favorite room or your favorite part of the build. Or just your favorite or your thoughts on the server so far. And maybe even suggestions for what we should build. But that's going to be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.